What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
In the future, all of the current driver assistants will merge into one, and we'll have a full-fledged autopilot that will allow us to not think about what's happening on the road and do our own thing on the road. No one knows when this momentous event will happen. At the level of software and hardware, autopilots are ready, but it is still impossible to release them on public roads on a par with human-driven cars. Why? We have discussed in detail on the example of the Audi A8. This means that in the coming years, if not decades, all responsibility for safety on the road will still lie with you and me, they, drivers, and therefore it makes sense to take a closer look at electronic assistants, which allow us to avoid many typical accidents and reduce the level of stress from driving. In developed countries, there is now a mass introduction of electronic assistance on new cars, which is facilitated by pressure on manufacturers from independent non-profit organizations, in particular Euro NCAP in Europe and IIHS in the US. Consumers are guided by the safety ratings awarded by these organizations to new cars, and therefore manufacturers fight for a high rating and equip their cars with the latest safety systems. In Europe, for example, today it is impossible to put a car on the market without an automatic emergency braking system, designated by the established abbreviation AEB, and the new test methodology presented by the Euro NCAP committee in the spring of this year. A new test methodology for such systems has seriously increased the requirements for them. This means that AEB systems will become more advanced and will prevent more accidents. The current fourth-generation Kia Sportage last took part in Euro NCAP tests in 2015, right after its premiere, and received the maximum 5-star rating for safety. But then the AEB system and other smart aids, for example, the now mandatory lane keeping system, were not taken into account. But the American Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, IIHS, in 2019 tested already restyled version of the Sportage, equipped with electronic driver assistance. As experts investigated the ability of the new compact crossovers to recognize pedestrians, the Kia Sportage was in the good group, while the BMW X1, by comparison, failed the test. It is encouraging that Kia Sportage with electronic driver's assistance is available in Russia. DriveWise is included in the top package premium for 2,389,900 rubles, the price at the time of publication. It includes FCA, as Kia calls its AEB version, and SEC Intelligent Cruise Control, LKA Lane Keeping System, BCW Blind Spot Monitoring System, SPA Parking Assistant, RCCW Parking Assist, DAW Driver Fatigue Detection System. Of course, we cannot test the FCA Frontal Collision Avoidance System on public roads. It is directly forbidden by the instruction manual, but the SEC Intelligent Cruise Control is at our service, because it uses the same hardware as FCA, namely, radar located in the front bumper and a video camera under the windshield at the level of the rearview mirror. The radar detects objects in front of the car and measures the distance to them. The camera recognizes images. There are only two images, a car and a pedestrian. FCA does not officially see motorcyclists, bicyclists, and scooters, although it can be triggered when dangerously close to them. The system works best in daylight hours in good weather, and in conditions of poor visibility, night, heavy rain, snow, fog, and when the camera or radar is dirty, there is a probability of errors, which is honestly written in the manual. The same manufacturer warns that the electronics may not react to too large cars, trucks and tractors, to the cargo outside the body of the car and to solid-colored objects. The latter, by the way, is one of the key problems for Tesla electric cars equipped with SAE Level 2 autopilot, requires constant monitoring by the driver. In general, even premium brands can't boast of perfect performance of electronic driver assistance in all weathers. But in clear and sunny weather, Kia Sportage with DriveWise package, as practice has shown, perfectly clings, including for trucks. i.e. keeps the distance, accelerates and brakes without driver's participation. In the process of SCC operation by the key on the right spoke of the steering wheel, depending on the speed of the flow, you can adjust the distance to the car ahead. In traffic jams it is better to reduce the distance to a minimum, but even in this case, when accelerating between your and the leading Car may be too large a window in which someone from the next row will want to wedge. And when braking, you may be frightened by the system activating too late. In this case, do not test your patience and fate, brake yourself as required by the instructions. It is the driver's responsibility to take control in any situation that appears dangerous. This includes being cut off or cut into your lane by a car with an aggressive or simply inattentive driver. The system can miss a sudden obstacle and allow a collision, so you should always keep an eye on the road. Meanwhile, in the new Euro NCAP test program there is a test for undercutting, so we can expect that in a couple of years electronic assistance will start to cope with this trouble. Is there a sense in adaptive cruise control at such quantity of restrictions? Yes, there is. You get less tired with it, and the movement, especially in a traffic jam, is smoother, which is important for passengers prone to seasickness. And the main thing is that the system ensures you from small traffic jams, because everyone can gape at the wheel. Electronics, sometimes, makes mistakes, but never gets tired. It is always on guard. The system of keeping the car in the lane LKA works in the speed range from 60 to 180 km per hour on the basis of the picture from the front video camera. The system operates gently, does not break the trajectory of the car, and the driver can intervene at any time. He does not have to overcome the resistance of the electric motor of the steering drive. LKA does not work with temporary markings, at crosswalks, in places of lane splitting and merging of two lanes into one. The system does not see worn out, covered with dirt markings either. In short, it is of little use in the city, but on a good highway it will come in handy and will be of great help. In turn, the system of driver fatigue recognition DAW will save from too long monotonous driving. It monitors the driver through a separate interior camera, evaluates his attention on a 5-point scale and, when the evaluation falls to 0, offers to take a break. Note that from this year, the evaluation of driver attention monitoring systems has also been part of the Euro NCAP test program. Blind spot monitoring system BCW operates with readings from ultrasonic sonars located around the perimeter of the body and is activated at speeds above 30 km per hour. The driver learns about interference through yellow indicators integrated in the exterior mirrors, and additionally, through a persistent audible signal in the case of a dangerous approach. This assistant comes in very handy when changing lanes in heavy and dense traffic. The SPA parking assistant is a fairly old and well-studied system, but it still generates a lot of interest and debate among motorists. Kia has a classic version of this assistant. It controls only the steering wheel, everything else, that is, you press the gas or brake yourself, providing a safe maneuvering speed, and turn on the necessary mode of automatic transmission on the command of electronics. It is necessary to remember about technical limitations in the work of the parking assistant to activate it only when it is appropriate and safe. For example, the search for a place should occur at a speed of no more than 20 km/h, which is suitable for parking a hypermarket, but not always feasible on a city street with heavy traffic. Always keep an eye on the distance to neighboring cars, as the FCA frontal collision avoidance system is activated at speeds above 8 km per hour, i.e. it does not work at parking speeds. SPA is ready to help you only in parallel, left or right, and perpendicular, left or right, parking. The desired mode is selected by a key on the center tunnel. Parking at an angle, which is typical for many city streets, is not supported. Exit assistance is only available if the car is parked parallel to the roadway. You will have to drive out of a perpendicular pocket by yourself, but when reversing, the RCCW system will help you. The main thing is not to accelerate faster than 10 km per hour. The RCCW system also operates ultrasonic sonars, or rather, they're far, not near parking range, that is, it will warn the driver of the approaching car on the left or right, indicator on the rearview mirror, sound signal, and message on the onboard computer screen. On the 2020 model year Kia Sportage, DriveWise also includes the ISLW traffic sign recognition system. The test car does not have it. The system sees only two types of signs, speed limits and overtaking prohibited, but it's enough to avoid being ambushed by the traffic police, especially if the signs are installed temporarily and not registered in the navigation system. What's the bottom line? The difference in price between the Kia Sportage in GT line, without DriveWise, and premium is 130,000 rubles. For this money, in addition to the above-mentioned assistance, you will also get an automatic headlight switch from high beam to low beam and electric luggage door drive. In our opinion, Taking into account the functionality, it is quite a fair extra payment for safety and comfort. It is a pity only that DriveWise Complex is available only in combination with the top premium configuration. As an option for 130,000 rubles, DriveWise would be appropriate on any configuration, but Kia, as well as the majority of Asian brands, offers in our market only fixed configurations, and the addition of DriveWise Complex in them largely depends on the wishes of customers. If there will be a lot of requests, they will add it for sure. There are few people who can compare with the Korean brand in the speed of reaction to the consumer's requests. In conclusion, our test drive of the Kia Sportage's electronic driver assistance has revealed a promising glimpse into the future of driving. With features designed to enhance safety and convenience, the Sportage stands out as a strong contender in the realm of advanced driver assistance systems. While we may still be waiting for full autonomy, the technology available today offers a significant step forward, making our journeys not only easier but also more enjoyable. As we look ahead, it will be exciting to see how these innovations continue to evolve and shape the driving experience. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Kia Sportage.